Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Adrian, the recovered type 2 diabetic. And you know what? I've got the intro finally for the show. Welcome to the Type 2 Diabetes Brotherhood, dedicated to middle aged men who want to crush type 2 diabetes just like I did. No meds, no supplements, no gimmicks, zero bullshit. Armed with this continuous glucose monitor, I test everything I eat in a day, and I offer tips and education to help you to succeed on your own journey. So that's the intro. That's who it's for. And let's get on with it today. So, the number one thing that you guys have to get through your heads, the very first start, if you came to me and asked me, hey, man, brother, can you help me out? I want to reverse type 2 diabetes. How do I do it? The very first thing is not how, it's can you? It's do you want to? So you got to get the fucking mindset straight before we start with anything, because it's a fucking bitch, guys. It is very difficult to quit drinking alcohol. For some of you, for me, it was a breeze. Sugar was definitely a bitch. I went through a keto flu, what it's called, for like 3 weeks, guys, almost a month, right? Fatigue, nausea. I was getting dizzy. I was moody as fuck. I think I took a nap 3 times in a day. I'm a roofing contractor, guys. So I'm up working on a roof getting dizzy. That's no bueno. That's not a good thing. But in order to start with, you guys got to figure out, is this something that you really want for yourself? Are you willing? This is like the movie The Matrix, but this ain't no fucking movie because life's no fucking rehearsal. This is Morpheus handing you the pill. Do you want to take the blue or the red pill? Right? I forget which one it is, but the blue pill is where you go down the rabbit hole to take the truth, if my memory serves me correctly. Right? Or take the red pill and just forget about it all. Go home, Dorothy, click your heels twice, and wake up and pretend none of this ever happened until the future comes and you're fucking like my cousin, where you're missing a couple toes, right? Uh, Actually passed away from type 2 diabetes complications. My uncle just passed away recently, about 3 weeks ago. You know, you can ignore it all you want, but it just doesn't, it's not going to go anywhere. But the very, very first fundamental is figure out whether you're willing to make that switch. Because, guys, once you see this, you can't unsee it. Once you make the lifestyle change, once you lose 50 pounds like I did, once you reverse your type 2 diabetes and you're starting to feel great, you lost weight, you look good, you have high energies, you can't go back, right? But it's that initial hump that's going to take you to get there. And that's going to take dedication, and that's going to take a complete lifestyle change. It takes mindset. This is the most unsexy thing. I think that nobody wants to hear this. Nobody wants to hear this. What they want is a pill for every ill. Guys, that's not my fucking channel. If that's what you're about, there's plenty of other content creators who's got supplements and all kinds of shit to sell you. I'm after real fucking results. As I stated in the opening words, this is a no bullshit. This is a no meds, no supplements. You don't fucking need anything. You just have to have the right type of mindset, and you have to have um, the right drive, right? You have to know. You have to come up with a plan too, guys. If you don't plan for yourself, if you don't know where you're aiming yourself, you're just throwing darts in the dark trying to hit a bullseye. It doesn't work that way, right? You got to get yourself a continuous glucose monitor, or you got to have some means of measuring your blood sugars at all times so you can see your progress. I say this all the time, guys. It's like driving your car around your pickup truck, and you're dumping gas in the gas tank, and all you have is a steering wheel and a gas pedal and a brake, right? But you have no idea how fast you're driving. You don't know how full the tank of gas is. You don't know what your battery power is like. You don't know if you've got any oil, if you need to do an oil change, because there's no odometer that's counting the miles. That's the exact same thing that we're doing with type 2 diabetes. We're driving around town, and even your uh how can I say, even the people who are your providers, right, of information, of well care and your well-being. I have to choose my words carefully here. These people have no idea what's going on with you. Let's just say that you do my protocol and you start eating a low carb diet, you start getting exercise, right, without a continuous glucose monitor. You're not going to see the results, right? You're not going to know how far along am I, right? If you go to your doctor and your doctor says, that's great. Look, we did an A1C which is a 3-month average, guys. It just takes the average of 3 months, puts it all together, and it only measures one aspect of your blood sugars. But your doctor may tell you, look, your A1C went down, right? Especially if you're not on drugs. I'm sorry, if you're on metformin, you're going to see or any of the other drugs, you're going to see some reactions. You're going to see that it's going to take the sugars out of your blood, displace it in the rest of your body. It doesn't get rid of it naturally, but you're going to see that there's some progress at first for a while. I'm patient as fuck, and I'm ready to wait for you guys when you guys come out the other side, beaten, broken down, and fucking pretty much lied to, right? But all your doctor could do is, if you do what I say, and you need to work with a healthcare practitioner. I'm not saying you don't, right? Especially if you're on medications. But they're going to tell you if your blood sugar starts to go down and your A1Cs and your fasting tests and everything, they're going to say, well, cut your meds in half. That's a fucking guess, right? Can you imagine if you had a speedometer and some form that's showing where your blood sugars were at? Your doctor could actually get a lot more accurate and say, you know what, Bob, Bill, James, right? It looks like we should cut your medication by a third, right? Or let's do it by 3/3 or a quarter. It gives them something to gauge off. Otherwise, you're shooting in the wind, right? In the dark. You're shooting off the hip. You have no idea. But you have to really want this. You know, some people have talked shit and said, don't you think that's a little obsessive of you checking your blood sugars all the time, wearing it I don't even need to wear this thing anymore, guys. I do it for you guys, to show you, to help you, so you can reverse your type 2 diabetes as well. But people are just like, when's enough, Adrian? When's enough? When are you going to stop? Probably fucking never, until I could help out as many people as I can, right? Because I have that fucking mindset. I have that drive. So fuck everybody else, these people who are going to talk shit and talk down to you, right? And first of all, take a look at them. Do they look like the epitome of health, right? Especially some of the providers of information. If somebody's going to give you information, you better damn well want to be that person, right? Why would you ask a homeless person how to buy a house? You know, why would you ask somebody who's severely obese how to lose weight? You wouldn't do it. So the people who are yapping and down talking you, take a good look and make sure that they're in the wrong mindset, really, right? But make sure that person you're taking information from and you trust, and you're going to make a move on something, looks the way you want to look, right? Or has fucking the shit like I do. There's nobody else on the internet, guys, doing what I'm doing, who's showing your 24/7 blood sugars. I reverse type 2 diabetes. That's why I'm here, to help my brothers out. No BS, no fucking gimmicks, no tricks. There's no place for me to fucking hide, right? But all that said, is great because I can show you everything that I've done. But you know who's going to stop you? It's you, right? I think David Goggins said perfectly, do not negotiate with yourself, right? Who's going to negotiate with you? You. It's that little fucking head, that subconscious that you gotta gain control over, because this is not no small feat. This is a whole different lifestyle. And this is not what they call a diet. Oh, you were sick. Now you go on a diet, you lose weight, and then you get to go back to your diet. No, that's what happened. That's what got us here in the first place. You guys can see how this can get very, very intricate and very dramatic, really. I don't like drama. I don't want to feed any drama. But as you guys can see, it's a whole different way. And you got to get the mindset straight that we got here. Diabetes is not a progressive disease, as they tell you. That's imminent. If it was so, why is it that people like me and hundreds of other, maybe thousands, simply change their diet and no more diabetes, magically gone, right? If it has something to do with genetics, which it runs rampant in my family, that's kind of peculiar. Why wouldn't it just keep going for me? Why is it that back in the 1980s, when they introduced the low-fat diet, diabetes actually surged, right? Actually, I got some notes right here I want to show you guys. This is pretty crazy. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, the progression of type 2 diabetes. Let's take a look. The U.S. spent $245 billion in 2012 alone on treating type 2 diabetes. And the WHO says 15% of all global health budgets go to diabetes-related problems. This is freaking insane, you guys. Another detail is 14.3% of people have full-blown diabetes. These are the numbers. 38% have pre-diabetes walking around. That's over 52% of the adult population. If those numbers don't make you trip the fuck out, I don't know what will. But here's some details for this presentation here today. Back in 1980, there was 108 million cases of type 2 diabetics, right? What I just said, when they made the switch over to a low fat diet, saying that fats are wrong, fats are bad, red meat kills, and all this shit too. It could be up for debate, but for right now, it seems like it's completely it's got its dick in the dirt. It's got no fucking say. But by 2014, the numbers went from 108 million, right, in 1980 to 214, went to 422 million people. My brothers, we're being fucking lied to. We're being led astray. This is bullshit. It's a fake fucking Matrix world. That's why I referenced the Matrix. But you got to get your head right. You have to understand that even the naysayers and everybody else who's talking about this, put a blood sugar monitor on all of them and let's see what the fuck they say. Let's see what happens when you eat the standard American diet, a low-fat diet, or whatever diet you want, right? And I'm not here to tell you got to eat carnivore, you got to eat vegan. It's whatever works for you. We're going to get in that later. I'm here to answer questions on these lives for you guys, but it's whatever the fuck doesn't spike your blood sugar, and you have to have a form of means of knowing what that looks like. Just like this right here. Let me get that. Let me tone this brightness down here so you guys can actually see. This is what it looks like, my friends. You need some form of fashion to measure your blood sugars. Otherwise, like I said, you're pissing in the wind. This is not so much of a down talk on everything. I think it's actually pretty, it should be pretty inspiring for you guys, right? To see. So again, nobody, guys, is coming out and showing you their blood sugar results for days, right? For days on end. That's what we're going to do here. Days on end. As long as I stay in this dark gray zone, guys, that's 100% time and range. As long as I don't come out of that. Look at this. That's what I'm talking about. So you got to know, you have to make that decision, my friends, my brothers. You got to decide, am I done with this? Or am I going to put my ruby red fucking slippers on and click my heels twice and go home to Annie Ann, right? If you're not willing to do it, click your fucking heels and go home to Annie Ann. But if you're really ready to fucking man up and you're ready to get that mindset straight, right? You really fucking want this. It's not going to be easy, but it doesn't have to be complicated. But if you're ready to fucking do this shit, I'm here to help you. I'm here to answer any questions. I'm going to try to go live every day at noon over here and on my lunch breaks at work and see what I can do for you guys. So if you guys want it, you know, it's the mindset is it. As I said, it's not going to be to recap. It's all going to be up to you. I would never even want, if you booked a call with me or something, that's the very first thing I would do. And if I didn't feel you were willing to participate and willing to know what you have to go through, and I felt that you were being weak about it, that you were in love with the idea, but not the reality, I would say, you know what? It's a waste of your money and time, and it's a waste of my time. Like, come back to me when you're really fucking ready, right? When you're serious. So guys, if you are, follow these lives, follow the shorts. All the information is here. There's no place for me to fucking hide. I'm the guy who fucking did it. I'm the only one showing you guys 24/7 what's up. And there's a lot more details. I didn't give you guys much cookies, some takeaways, other than you got to get your mindset straight. And maybe you guys have some questions about how the fuck do I do that? I don't know. I don't know what position in life you are in. I don't know what your lifestyle is. I don't know what your age, all of that. I need to know how you think. You have to share with me some ideas or any of your concerns. And that's what I'm here to answer, all pain points. So it was a pleasure, my friends. I will see you guys on the next one. Bitches.